So 15 miles northwest of Moline, we come here. And this is the first surveyed crossing of the Cherokee Trail. This is at Limestone and Road 7. Pretty little place. Sun's coming up. Cool morning. About 47, 48 degrees out. You can see we got a water source here. That'll be good. So this will be about a full day hike from Moline, from the swinging bridge, and till I get to here. And then from here, we'll continue to go northeast toward Piedmont, Kansas. So let's get on the road, head that way. So just up the road from that survey crossing, heading toward Piedmont, is this old cemetery. This is the Clear Creek Cemetery. Let's go out here and look at one of these headstones. It looks interesting. It's the headstone of W.R. Peel, died 1890. Another one that died in 1885. Another Tyler. This is Lenore Tyler. 2 years old. Okay, I made it to the Young Meyer Ranch. This is a 4,700 acre working ranch, and the Kansas Land Trust has set it aside for in perpetuity to be a working ranch here in Kansas. It's nested here in the Flint Hills. Beautiful site, and again, one of the locations of the Cherokee Trail. This is the site of Peter's Well near Burgess, Kansas. Hand-dug well, not to be confused with the biggest dug well in Kansas, which is out in Greensboro, Kansas. But this is where the Cherokee Trail came up through and crossed this area right here. Well, I've made it to El Dorado, just outside of Kyle Good's place, the old stone way station, and so I'm not going to bother Kyle today. I'll talk with him later, but just wanted to stop here and get a lay of this, and then probably just maybe 3/4 of a mile over through there, the Walnut River crossing. Both of these sites are just wonderful. Kyle's place and Mike's place are both just beautiful place, and also very historic, with a lot of evidence of the Cherokee Trail crossing through here. So be coming up this way, going across, go over by Mike. It's a mile and a half if you go by road, and probably less than 3/4 of a mile if you just walk straight across as the crow flies. But don't know which I'll be able to do, but it's exciting to be here and pushing on toward Piedmont. All right, just south of El Dorado is this great sign for the Cherokee Trail crossing. This is Eric's place right out through here, and last time I was here we brought his 4-wheeler and drove all back in this spot, and so the Cherokee Trail crosses and goes right through there, and then turns a little bit to the left and goes over by Mike Thompson as it crosses the Walnut River. Let's get going, see what the next spot is going to be. Piedmont. And this will be one of the areas that I'll go down through. This is probably one of the best view of a swell that you'll be able to see. As you look down through here, you can see now it just sort of banks out, and that's where the wagon trains, all the wagons had gone down through. Goes down, there's a dried pond just down here, a little piece, and then the trail keeps on going out north of Piedmont and over toward Galva, and eventually to Goesel, where it meets with the Santa Fe Trail. On the other side of the 𝙃𝙚𝙡𝙡. Here is where the trail comes through. So on May the 11th, 1849, the wagon trains had made it to this point, and this was called Buffalo Chip Camp. That being because when they got here, there was no wood to make fire, but they began to find the buffalo chips. They hadn't seen any of the animals yet, but the buffalo chips were so prevalent here that they used those to make their campfires and to make their cook fires. The diaries are very detailed on how they dug the pits and used the buffalo chips to line the floors of the pits to light them and to make the fires. They talk about how that it didn't stink. It was a very pleasant aroma, the writer says, and that they were very efficient in the fires that they used, and how it was the buffalo chips that gave them both the fuel they needed to cook their meals and gave the name of this site. In their compilation of these diaries, the Cherokee Diaries, Jack and Pat Fletcher, they recorded this about Buffalo Chip Camp. The 1849 company's first encounter with the buffalo droppings indicated the sometime presence of the animals, even though they were not immediately seen. It was Friday, 11 May, Bois de Vache, 18 miles. O.W. Lipe with the Cherokees wrote, "We make use of buffalo chips. We were obliged to use such fuel 2 nights before we reached the Santa Fe Road." Well, I'm just up from Lauren Fleming's place, and Lauren has actually discovered several artifacts here on her property, and there's visible ruts that run through. It's hard to make out on the camera, but you can see where the ruts come through here and then continue to travel on up toward Goesel. And so we're going to continue on and going north. And it's on Saturday, May the 12th, 1849, that the company had arrived at the Wolf Campsite, or sometimes called the Wolf Creek Campsite. This is it. They would have stayed out in this area. Just south of Goesel, getting close to the Santa Fe Trail. It's just a beautiful day out. And here we are in Goesel, and here is where the Cherokee Trail met and joined in with the Santa Fe Trail to head west. It was an old trail that was not to be forgotten. It was in Colorado that the Cherokee Trail would emerge again to make its own mark on Western history.